Okay, ladies, and we are back with a continuation of meiosis. So, again, meiosis is the process of making sex cells, meaning sperm or egg cells. It only occurs in the reproductive structures in the body, meaning the testis for the male or the ovary for the female. It involves two divisions instead of just one division, like mitosis. Um, and I should have probably said this at the beginning, but I kind of forgot, is that um, organisms that undergo sexual reproduction undergo meiosis. So humans are a sexual species. We undergo meiosis. Cats, dogs, corals, sea urchins, mussels, kangaroos, birds, bats, insects, they all undergo sexual reproduction. So meiosis is not just in humans, it's in all lots of kinds of animals and plants as well. Even mushrooms and I don't know about protists. I don't think because they're only most of them are only single celled. Okay, so it's necessary for sexual reproduction. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking why? Why do cells undergo meiosis? Why does that special cell in the reproductive structure undergo meiosis? And it's because the chromosome number needs to be halved. It needs to be cut in half. Think about this. If I wish I had my stuffed sperm or my stuffed egg right now as my, hands-on visual learning tools. Um, if a sperm cell had 46 chromosomes and an egg cell had 46 chromosomes and they combined, then the zygote or, what will become the baby will have what is 46 and 92 chromosomes. And that's just weird, right? Humans have 46 chromosomes in each of our cells. So, in order for the chromosome number to stay the same as the generations go on, as mom and dad make a baby, those cells need to half the genetic information so that dad will only contribute 23 chromosomes or one of each of these kinds of chromosomes in his sperm cells. And mom will contribute one of each of these chromosomes into her egg cell. So although we have 46 chromosomes in our cells, only one of each member of the homologous pair will actually get passed down to the next generation. Okay, so here, let's just focus in on chromosome 11 for a minute. Here we are with chromosome 11. You already drew down here, these two cells are going to have the purple chromosome, and these two cells are going to have the green chromosome, right? And then this cell down here has the little a allele. This cell down here has the little a allele. This cell over here has the big A, and then this sperm cell over here has the big A. So which sperm cell is going to get used when him and his wife make a baby? Well, who knows? That's why I say children are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Is the sperm with the big A allele going to get used? Or is a sperm cell with the little a allele going to get used? Well, if this is the cell that's used to make the baby, that's great because she inherits the normal copy of the hemoglobin gene. But if one of these two cells is used, she's going to inherit the non-functioning version of hemoglobin. And she may have sickle cell anemia if the mother also has an allele for sickle cell anemia. And we'll get to her in a little while. Okay, so we see up here that there are two chromosome number 11s. Here in this cell, there are two chromosome 11s because remember we count the chromosomes by the number of centromeres. So there's two centromeres, so there's two chromosome 11s. And then down here, how many chromosomes do you see in each of these cells? You should have only drawn like one line, right? So there's only one chromosome 11 in each cell. So the number 1 is half of 2. In meiosis, the number of chromosomes is halved. Oh, look at that great writing. The number of chromosomes is halved in order to maintain the appropriate chromosome number for the zygote for the next generation. So meiosis is necessary in sexually reproducing organisms to reduce the chromosome number by half and also to ensure that each gamete, each sex cell, or each sperm cell in this case, only gets one of each chromosome, meaning one of each kind of chromosome or each type. This is why I was like so crazy about homologous chromosomes in the last unit, is that up here, the little baby is going to get one of these. You don't know if it's going to be this one or this one. She's going to get chromosome 2. Is it going to be this one or this one? Is it going to be this one or this one? You don't know. One of these, she inherited the baby. Sorry, this is dad's. One of these is going to be a chromosome that he inherited from his biological mother, and one is going to be one he inherited from his biological father, just like we see over here. So which combination ends up in the cells down here is really a game of chance. Again, kids are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So the sperm cells are going to have a mix of chromosomes that this man inherited from his mother and from his father. And so this sperm cell down here could have more of the chromosomes he got from his biological mother. So there would be more purple chromosomes down here than green. In that case, the child would be more like her biological paternal grandmother than her biological paternal grandfather. So it's not like all the purple chromosomes go together and all the green chromosomes go together. It's a game of chance, meaning which chromosome of the pair gets passed down. You can't control it. The man can't control it. The female can't control it. It's just a game of chance. So, what's my take-home message here? Oh, so in this cell, there should really be 46 total chromosomes, but that's insane to show here. So I only showed you meiosis with one pair of homologous chromosomes, but really there would be all of these chromosomes. And if we were in school and we had all those colored paper chromosomes with the like stripes that we lined up on the desk 1 through 23, the 23 pairs, the 46 total chromosomes, we would randomly pick one of each kind of chromosome. One chromosome 1, one chromosome 2, one chromosome 3, one chromosome 4, and put them all together and see how many of those chromosomes were maternal and how many were paternal. So you could really see that meiosis is really mixing up the chromosomes that a person inherits from their biological mother or their biological father. Like, so for example, one of my daughters is a lot like her paternal grandmother. So like my husband's grandmother. So I think that, my husband's father got a lot of the chromosomes from his mother, and then my husband got those chromosomes, and then he passed them down to my kid. That's a little too much maybe, but hey, genetics works. That's why we resemble our parents and our great-grandparents and our grandparents. All right, let's get all this junk out of the way here. Okay, so that was meiosis in a nutshell. Meiosis, making sex cells. So I love a good dinner. I love food. What we're seeing here is a mollusk. It's a mussel. You eat these. So I just wanted to kind of show you for fun. You should know what you're eating. This is a sexually reproducing organism, and right here, the gonad, that's the reproductive structure of the organism. So I believe these ones are male because it looks kind of whitish. But when you're eating a mussel, you're eating the whole animal. You're not just eating like the bicep or the tricep or the loin, like when you eat a steak or whatever. You're eating the whole animal. So next time you eat mussels and you see the white part, that's because that's the tissue containing the sperm cells. Or if you eat the bright orange ones, that's because you're eating the female mussels, and they're the bright red or orange eggs. So here's the gonad right here. It's all throughout the shell. You can see that tissue underneath there. This is the gill. So underneath the gills are the gonads, and that's where the egg cells are, or the sperm cells. Okay, so just to give you an example, this is showing you a fungus, a certain kind of fungus called, go back up the truck. plasmodium, and it undergoes mitosis and meiosis. So there's, just getting larger as an organism, mitosis, and then meiosis, actually involved in reproducing sexually. Okay, so that's super fun. Again, I'm not going to ask you to like memorize all this, just to give you an idea that animals are not the only ones that reproduce sexually and undergo meiosis. So here is a flower. This is an iris. And up here in the male reproductive structure, this is where meiosis takes place and produces the pollen. Okay, and then down here in the female reproductive structure is where is the ovary. So this is like the ovary of the flower. That's like where the fruit is. And then there's the ovules, and inside the ovules is where meiosis takes place. So like you can kind of think of a flower as like a hermaphrodite. It has both male and female reproductive parts, and it undergoes meiosis as well. So meiosis is not just in animals. Okay, and this is a fern. It's not a flowering plant. These little spores on the back of a fern, they're going to undergo meiosis and produce spores, and then germinate and grow into a little kind of babyish kind of plant. And then, the life cycle continues. Oh, that's my little doggy down there. Okay, so what was my point here? Oh, again, ferns, flowering plants, mussels, fungus, not just animals undergo meiosis. Okay, so now what I want you to do is create a very complete meiosis concept map. Not concept map, what the heck is this? This is a Freyer model, right? So fill in, come up with your own definition. Doesn't need to sound fancy, doesn't need to sound awesome. Draw the 1 cell to 2 cell to 4 cells with the chromosomes in there. Give me some characteristics of meiosis, and then also give me some non-examples. So make sure it's color coded down here with your purple and your letter A's, big A's and little A's. And if you have to, go back and rewatch these videos, and we will go over this in an upcoming video. It'll be its own video. Okay, bye.